Rachel, Lanyah Dawson's family says she was a loving older sister, a mother, and a caring friend to all. Just after midnight on Saturday, Cincinnati police say she was shot and killed and left in the forest.
She was a beautiful person and a beautiful soul. She kept us laughing all the time. And I would do anything in the world for her.
Grief weighs heavy on the family of Lanyah Dawson.
It's just too much.
Just before 12:30 Saturday morning, Lanyah's body was discovered on Trail Ridge Road.
At 12:30 a.m. on December 7, 2024, someone called 911 because of what they saw in Cincinnati's Mount Airy forest. Police rushed to Trail Ridge Road. What they found instead was truly shocking. 20-year-old Lanyah Dawson was lying motionless on the cold pavement. 8 empty shell casings scattered around her body told a story no mother should ever have to live. This was a young woman who had everything to live for, an aspiring rapper whose music just started making waves. Right now, as I speak to you, there's a 1-year-old little girl somewhere in Cincinnati calling out, "Mama," over and over again. Yes, she had a daughter, but she doesn't understand why her mother isn't coming home. She doesn't know that her mama will never pick her up again, never sing her to sleep, never be there for her first day of school. Lanyah never knew that someone wanted her dead badly enough to fire 8 shots into her body. The killer is still out there, walking free, maybe living in your neighborhood, maybe someone you know. Who exactly wanted this young mother dead? And why are they still walking free? The answers might shock you. Welcome to our channel. Right now, there are thousands of young people like Lanyah Dawson who are completely unaware about predators who target victims and cut short their dreams. If you care about them, if you want to help keep them safe, then please like this video, share it with someone who needs to understand how such can turn into loss of lives, and subscribe to this channel. Your awareness could literally save someone from becoming the next Lanyah Dawson. Lanyah Dawson was a real person with real dreams, real love, and a real family who adored her. In fact, she had just started making some good moves into the rap industry. Her grandmother, Janet Crenshaw, still gets tears in her eyes when she talks about Lanyah. She was a beautiful person and a beautiful soul, Janet says. She kept us laughing all the time, and I would do anything in the world for her.
She was a beautiful person and a beautiful soul. She kept us laughing all the time. And I would do anything in the world for her.
Those weren't just nice words for the cameras. Anyone who knew Lanyah would tell you the same thing. Her mother, Lanyah Dawson, describes her daughter as someone special.
Lanyah meant a lot to us. She was my baby, but she also was everybody's baby too. She was the life of the party. She was very fun, outgoing. You can always call her and she'll be there for you.
Lanyah meant a lot to us. She was my baby, but she also was everybody's baby too. She was the life of the party. She was very fun, outgoing. You could always call her and she would be there for you. At just 20 years old, Lanyah had already taken on the most important role of her life, being a mom. Her 1-year-old daughter was everything to her. Family members say she was completely devoted to that little girl. She wasn't one of those young mothers who complained about losing her freedom. Instead, she embraced motherhood with open arms. But Lanyah was also a big sister, and she took that job seriously too. Her family says she was always looking out for her siblings, always making sure everyone was okay. She had this natural way of bringing people together and making them feel good about themselves. Music was Lanyah's passion. She was working on her rap career, writing lyrics and recording tracks. She had big dreams about making it in the music industry. Her friends say she had real talent and the drive to make something of herself. She wasn't just talking about success, she was working toward it. The Dawson family was tight-knit. They spent time together, supported each other, and genuinely enjoyed being around one another. Lanyah grew up in Cincinnati's Evanston neighborhood, where everyone knew her smile and her laugh. But on December 6, 2024, someone decided that Lanyah Dawson's life didn't matter. Someone decided that this young mother, this loving daughter, this aspiring artist, didn't deserve to see another day. The question is, who made that decision and why? December 6th, 2024. Somehow, between Friday night and early Saturday morning, Lanyah ended up in Mount Airy Forest. This wasn't just any random location. Mount Airy Forest is Cincinnati's largest park, covering nearly 1,500 acres of dense woodland and winding trails. It's the kind of place where you can disappear completely from the outside world. During the day, Mount Airy Forest is beautiful. Families come here to hike, kids play on the trails, and couples enjoy peaceful walks. But at night, it becomes something completely different. It's isolated, quiet, and far from help. Trail Ridge Road cuts through this massive forest. It's not a busy street where people drive by every few minutes. At night, you could be there for hours without seeing another car. If you wanted to hurt someone without being seen or heard, this would be the perfect spot. But here's what doesn't make sense. How did Lanyah end up there? Did she drive herself? Was she with someone she trusted? Did someone force her to go there? These are the questions that keep her family awake at night. At exactly 12:30 a.m. on December 7th, someone called 911. The caller reported an unresponsive person in the roadway on Trail Ridge Road. When Cincinnati police arrived, they found Lanyah lying on the pavement. She had been shot and was already dead. The scene told a violent story. 8 empty shell casings were scattered around her body. 8 shots. That's not someone firing once in panic or self-defense. That's someone who wanted to make absolutely sure Lanyah Dawson would never get up again. Police quickly determined that Lanyah was killed right there on Trail Ridge Road. This wasn't a case where someone murdered her somewhere else and dumped the body. The blood evidence and shell casings proved she died exactly where she was found. But this raises even more questions. Why that specific location? How did the killer know about that isolated spot? Was this planned ahead of time, or did something go wrong that night? The forest that should have been Lanyah's protection became the scene of her murder. The park where children play became the place where a young mother took her last breath. What do you think really happened that night? Was Lanyah meeting someone she knew? Was she followed there by a stranger, or did something else entirely lead her to that dark road in Mount Airy Forest? Share your thoughts in the comments below. The answers to these questions could be the key to finding Lanyah's killer. When Cincinnati police got that 911 call at 12:30 a.m., they had no idea what they were walking into. But as soon as the first officers arrived at Trail Ridge Road, they knew this was something much worse. Lanyah Dawson wasn't just unresponsive. She was dead. And it was clear she had been murdered. The killer clearly knew this area well. You don't just stumble onto a perfect murder location by accident. Someone either lived nearby, worked in the area, or had spent time exploring these forest roads. This wasn't random. It was chosen for a reason. Investigators immediately began processing the scene for any other evidence. They looked for tire tracks, footprints, DNA evidence, anything that might lead them to the killer. They searched the surrounding forest for the murder weapon, though it was never found. They interviewed anyone who might have been in the area that night. The shell casings became crucial evidence. Police can often trace bullets and casings back to specific guns through ballistics testing. They can also check if the same weapon was used in other crimes. But without a suspect or a murder weapon, even the best forensic evidence can only tell you so much. Months have passed since that December night, and the investigation continues. Cincinnati Police Homicide Unit detectives are still working the case, following up on tips and re-examining evidence. But the harsh reality is that they still don't have any solid leads. No suspects have been named. No arrests have been made. No one has been charged with Lanyah's murder. The killer is still out there, living their life while Lanyah's family suffers without answers. Police have asked anyone with information to contact the Cincinnati Police Homicide Unit. They're hoping someone saw something that night, heard something, or knows something that could break this case wide open. The forensic evidence proves Lanyah was murdered. The location proves it was planned. The 8 shell casings prove the killer wanted her dead beyond any doubt. But none of that evidence has led police to the person who pulled the trigger. For Lanyah's family, every day without answers is another day of pain. Every day the killer walks free is another day without justice. The crime scene has been processed, the evidence has been collected, but the most important question remains unanswered. Who killed Lanyah Dawson? The pain in Lanyah Dawson's voice is something you can't fake. When she talks about her daughter Lanyah, you can hear a mother's heart breaking in real time. At this point right now, we just need prayers, Lanyah told reporters, her voice shaking. We need answers. We need everything that we need in order to move forward and have peace in our heart, because I just don't think that she deserved nothing that has happened to her.
At this point right now, we just need prayers, we need answers, we need everything that we need in order to, move forward and have peace in our heart, because I just don't think that she deserved nothing that has happened to her today.
Those words hit different when you realize this mother is trying to hold herself together while her world falls apart. Lanyah raised Lanyah, watched her grow up, celebrated when she became a mother herself. Now she's planning a funeral instead of planning Christmas presents. She still had a whole life ahead of her, Airy said, and you can hear the future that was stolen from her daughter. All the birthdays Lanyah will never see, all the moments with her baby girl that will never happen, all the dreams that died on Trail Ridge Road. But perhaps the most heartbreaking detail is what Lanyah shared about Lanyah's 1-year-old daughter. Since her mother's death, the little girl has been calling out for her mama. She doesn't understand why mommy isn't coming home. She keeps saying, "Mama, mama," and looking around, waiting for the person who will never answer again. Think about that for a moment. A baby who doesn't know her mother is gone forever, still hoping to see her walk through the door, still expecting bedtime stories and morning hugs that will never come. Lanyah's grandmother, Janet Crenshaw, is dealing with her own grief while trying to support the family. She was a beautiful person and a beautiful soul, Janet said. She kept us laughing all the time, and I would do anything in the world for her.
She was a beautiful person and a beautiful soul. She kept us laughing all the time, and I would do anything in the world for her.
Grief.
Janet's memories of Lanyah are filled with laughter and joy, making the current silence even more painful. Aunt Marie Dawson has become one of the strongest voices calling for justice. She's not just grieving, she's angry, and she's determined to get answers. They do need to find justice for her because it is not fair for her child to grow up and not have justice, Marie said. When she grows up, she's going to have questions, and we need to have answers for her. Marie understands something that many people don't think about. That 1-year-old girl is going to grow up and ask about her mother. She's going to want to know what happened and why. If this case goes unsolved, what do you tell a child who asks why no one cared enough to find her mother's killer? The family has made desperate pleas to the community for help. "We need someone to speak out," Lanyah said. Think about it as if it was your family member, your daughter, your sister, your brother, your auntie, your uncle, someone that you love. Think about that. That's not just a request, it's a challenge. Lanyah is asking people to put themselves in her shoes, to feel what she's feeling, and then decide if they can stay silent. The Cincinnati community has responded with vigils and memorials for Lanyah. People who never met her have come together to honor her memory and support her family. Local news stations have covered the story, keeping Lanyah's name in the public eye. Social media posts have shared her photo and asked for tips. But community support, while meaningful, doesn't bring back a daughter or solve a murder case. The family needs more than thoughts and prayers. They need someone with information to come forward. Every day that passes without answers is another day of torture for this family. They wake up knowing Lanyah's killer is still free. They go to bed wondering if justice will ever come. They watch that little girl call for her mama and know they can't give her what she wants most. The Dawson family isn't asking for revenge. They're asking for truth. They're asking for someone to care enough about Lanyah's life to help find her killer. They're asking for the kind of justice that might help a little girl understand why her mother never came home. The question is, will anyone answer their call? Lanyah Dawson's murder isn't just one tragic story. It's part of a much bigger problem that's tearing apart communities across America. When you look at the numbers, the reality becomes clear and frightening. Cincinnati has been struggling with gun violence for years. Young people are dying at rates that should shock everyone, but somehow we've become numb to the headlines. Every week, another family gets the phone call that changes everything. Another mother buries a child. Another child grows up without a parent. What makes Lanyah's case even more heartbreaking is that she represents a group that's particularly at risk: young mothers. Women between the ages of 18 and 25 who have children face dangers that most people never think about. They're often targeted by people they know, people they trusted, people who should have protected them instead of hurting them. Young mothers like Lanyah are vulnerable in ways that older women aren't. They might be dealing with relationship problems, financial stress, or family drama. They might be trying to co-parent with someone who doesn't want to let them go. They might be caught between wanting to build a new life and being tied to their past through their children. The location of Lanyah's murder has also raised serious questions about safety in Mount Airy Forest. This park is supposed to be a place where families can enjoy nature, where kids can play, where people can exercise and relax. But when a young mother can be murdered there in the middle of the night, it makes everyone wonder, is anywhere really safe? Local residents are now afraid to use the park after dark. Parents are telling their teenagers not to go there alone. Joggers who used to run the trails early in the morning are finding new routes. One murder has changed how an entire community thinks about a place they used to love. But the impact goes far beyond Cincinnati. Lanyah's story represents thousands of similar cases across the country. Young mothers being killed by people who knew them. Families left without answers, children growing up without their mothers, communities living in fear. The ripple effects of murders like this one spread in ways most people don't realize. Lanyah's 1-year-old daughter will grow up with trauma she's too young to understand right now. She'll have questions that might never get answered. She'll wonder what her life would have been like if her mother had lived. But it's not just Lanyah's daughter who's affected. Her siblings will grow up knowing their sister was murdered and no one was punished for it. Her mother will never get over losing her child. Her grandmother will carry this pain for the rest of her life. The community impact is just as real. When murders go unsolved, people lose faith in the justice system. They start to believe that some lives matter more than others. They begin to think that if you're young, if you're black, if you're from certain neighborhoods, your murder won't be taken seriously. This creates a dangerous cycle. When people don't trust police to solve crimes, they stop reporting what they see. When witnesses won't come forward, cases go unsolved. When cases go unsolved, more killers stay free to kill again. Lanyah's case also highlights how gun violence has become normalized in America. 8 shots fired at a young mother should shock everyone. But we've heard these stories so many times that they start to blend together. We see the headlines, feel sad for a moment, and then move on with our lives. The truth is that cases like Lanyah's happen because we've allowed them to happen. We've accepted that some communities will always have high murder rates. We've decided that some victims aren't worth the same effort as others. We've gotten comfortable with violence as long as it doesn't touch our own families. But every unsolved murder makes the next one more likely. Every killer who walks free sends a message that violence has no consequences. Every family left without answers becomes proof that justice isn't really for everyone. Lanyah Dawson mattered. Her life had value. Her dreams were important. Her role as a mother was sacred. Her family deserves answers. Her daughter deserves justice. This case matters because it represents all the other cases like it, all the other young mothers who've been killed, all the other families begging for answers, all the other children growing up without their parents. When we ignore cases like Lanyah's, we're not just failing one family, we're failing our entire society. We're saying that some lives are disposable, that some murders are acceptable, that some families don't deserve justice. The question isn't just who killed Lanyah Dawson. The question is what kind of society allows young mothers to be murdered without consequences? What kind of community lets killers walk free while families suffer in silence? Until we answer those bigger questions, there will be more cases like Lanyah's, more families destroyed, more children left without their mothers, more communities living in fear. Lanyah Dawson's murder teaches us hard lessons about what happens when communities and law enforcement don't work together. Right now, someone out there knows something about what happened that night in Mount Airy Forest. Maybe they saw a car they didn't recognize. Maybe they heard gunshots. Maybe someone told them something that didn't seem important at the time. But if people don't trust police enough to come forward, those tips never get shared. When communities feel like police don't care about their problems, witnesses stay silent. When families feel like their loved ones don't matter to investigators, they stop cooperating. This creates a deadly cycle where murders go unsolved and killers stay free. Building better relationships between police and communities isn't just about being nice, it's about saving lives. When people trust that their tips will be taken seriously, they're more likely to call. When families believe investigators really want to solve their cases, they're more willing to share information that could be crucial. Young mothers like Lanyah face special risks that most people don't understand. They're often dealing with complicated relationships, financial problems, and the stress of raising children while still figuring out their own lives. Many don't have strong support systems to help them when things get dangerous. Communities need to create better safety nets for young mothers. This means programs that help with childcare, job training, and safe housing. It means teaching young women how to recognize dangerous situations and giving them resources to get help. It means making sure they know they're not alone when they're scared. Gun violence prevention starts with understanding that most murders aren't random. People don't just wake up one day and decide to kill someone. They're usually warning signs, escalating conflicts, and opportunities to intervene before violence happens. This means teaching people to take threats seriously, even when they seem like just angry words. It means having systems in place to help people get away from dangerous situations before they turn deadly. It means making it harder for people with violent histories to get guns. But prevention also means changing how we think about violence in our communities. Too often, people see warning signs and think it's not their business. They hear about threats and assume someone else will handle it. They know someone is in danger, but don't want to get involved. The truth is that preventing murders like Lanyah's requires everyone to care, not just police and social workers. Neighbors need to look out for each other. Friends need to take concerns seriously. Family members need to speak up when they see dangerous patterns. If you're watching this video, you can make a difference in your own community. Start by paying attention to the people around you. If someone you know is being threatened or seems scared, don't ignore it. Help them find resources or report it to authorities. When crimes do happen in your area, don't assume someone else will provide tips to police. If you saw something, heard something, or know something, make that call. Your information might seem small to you, but it could be the piece that solves the case. Most importantly, don't let cases like Lanyah's become just another sad story you heard once. Keep talking about them. Keep asking questions. Keep demanding that every victim gets the same attention and resources. Lanyah Dawson's murder could have been prevented if the right systems had been in place, if the right person had spoken up, if the right intervention had happened at the right time. We can't save Lanyah, but we can learn from her death to protect other young mothers who are facing similar dangers right now. The question is, will we? As we speak right now, Lanyah Dawson's killer is walking free. They're going about their daily life while her family lives in agony. They might be at work, at home with their own family, or even watching this video. But they know what they did on that December night in Mount Airy Forest. The Cincinnati Police Homicide Unit is still actively working this case. Detective teams continue following leads, re-examining evidence, and hoping for that one tip that will break everything wide open. But they need help from the community to solve this murder. If you know anything about what happened to Lanyah Dawson, please call the Cincinnati Police Homicide Unit.
Anyone with information on what happened to Naya is asked to call Crime Stoppers 513-352-3040.
It doesn't matter how small the information seems to you. Maybe you saw a car in the area that night. Maybe someone you know has been acting strange since December. Maybe you heard someone talking about something that didn't make sense at the time. Even if you know nothing about it, you can still help by simply sharing this video across social media. You never can tell how far this can go to get the killer. Your tip could be the one that brings justice for Lanyah and peace for her family. You can call anonymously. You don't have to give your name or get involved beyond making that phone call. But that one call could change everything. The search for answers continues every single day. Lanyah's mother, Niresha, wakes up every morning hoping this will be the day police call with news. Her grandmother, Janet, goes to bed every night praying someone will finally speak up. Her Aunt Marie keeps fighting for justice because she knows Lanyah's daughter deserves to know the truth about what happened to her mother. But Lanyah's legacy isn't just about her death. It's about the life she lived and the love she shared. She was the daughter who made her mother proud. She was the granddaughter who kept everyone laughing. She was the big sister who always had your back. She was the mother who would have done anything for her little girl. Her family wants people to remember Lanyah for who she was, not just how she died. She was working toward her dreams in music. She was raising her daughter with love and hope. She was building a life that someone decided to destroy. That 1-year-old little girl is growing up without her mother, but she's surrounded by family members who will make sure she knows how much Lanyah loved her. They'll tell her stories about her mama's laugh, her dreams, her kindness. They'll make sure she understands that her mother was taken from her, not that her mother chose to leave. But that little girl also deserves to grow up knowing that her mother's life mattered enough for someone to seek justice. She deserves to know that people cared enough to speak up when they had information. She deserves to live in a world where mothers don't get murdered without consequences. If this story has touched you, please don't just watch and forget. Hit that subscribe button so you'll know when we have updates on Lanyah's case. Share this video with your friends and family. The more people who know Lanyah's story, the better chance someone with information will see it. Leave a comment below with your thoughts about this case. What do you think happened that night? What would you want people to do if this was your family member? Your engagement helps keep cases like this in the public eye.